Finally time to start working on this kitchen a bit more. There's a lot that needs to be done to get this finished up. So I'm digging into it. Rhenda's not here for 10 days, 12 days actually. Gives me a lot of time to make a lot of progress, get it back to the point that she can use it somewhat. Not perfectly, I don't think I can get it all done by then, but I want to show you kind of where we are here. I pulled the linoleum up, and as you can see, this floor it's been wet. There is some mold that's going on there, but it only extends a little ways, but they have put this together with plywood, so it's going to be a little easier to pull up. The challenge that I have now is getting these pipes out of there, because although some of these pipes don't need replaced, some of them do. And I've got to pick and choose which ones are getting replaced, but I need to get under this floor down here, and that's the challenge. So I've got to get the pipes out of the way so that I can get the cabinets out of the way so that I can do the work and repair that needs to be done underneath, because it's a big mess. And you may remember some of what we had going on here before. You see this hole going under the house from under the floor. Certainly not desirable by any stretch. And then these are the connections that I need to figure out and fix and get them right. The challenge has been able to get into everything like I need to. Pretty hard to work in a small space, standing on my head upside down, and not a lot of room to work. Certainly don't want to do that. So I'm going to dismantle things as much as I can, get into it, and then be able to replace the pipes that need replaced. The main one that's getting replaced, which you really can't see too much from here, but it's one that goes down into the ground. It's going in as 3/8 on the outside of the wall, and the under the ground out there we see it as 3/8 as well. So one of my tasks that I hope to get to today, if not today then it'll be Monday, is to dig down and find where that 3/8 becomes 1.5 inches, so that I can make the change there from that 1.5 inches to the 3/4 that I'm running throughout the house to keep the pressure up a little bit higher, a little more uniform, and that's kind of a big deal. Plus getting the copper out of there so that's less likely to freeze during cold weather. Project's moving forward. I want to show you a little bit of where we are. What we're having here is the cabinets are all out. That's what I'm showing. Okay, cabinets gone. What we're working on now, what I'm working on now, is getting the plumbing put back together. So I've got it taken apart to the point of getting the cold water feed from the well into the house. And as you can see, you see daylight under there. We're going to go out and take a look at that, getting ready to put the 3/4 inch pipe connecting to the 1/2 inch pipe, that is 1.5 inch pipe that is out there coming from the well. What I have here is a little bit of a good news, bad news set of information. The 1.5 inch pipe coming from the well house terminates right here. That's the good news. The bad news is, as you can see, it's full of water. Easy solution, bail it out, right? I bail and bail and bail, and then I notice there's a stream of clean water running into it underground. I did that twice, thinking I could dig further in and maybe stop it. That was dumb. So the water's running in, not quite as fast as I can bail it out, but fast enough that it's a real problem for me. I nevertheless was able to take the pipe apart, get the right kind of fitting so I can fit this on. But what this does point out, another problem that I knew existed that is a bigger project yet, that's going to require us to put in a French drain that goes around the front side of the house out there, and kind of side to side to take the water around both ends instead of having it flow under the house like it is. Now I realize we're only going to be able to go so deep, we'll only get so much of it, but we'll get a significant more of the surface water that's going on there and be able to stop that from being under the house, which will help the house, the crawl spaces, be a little more dry. There's always something. Mission accomplished for today. I have running water into the house now, both hot and cold. Haven't checked the pressure to see if it is more pressure, but I've got the PEX pipes in all the way out to the 1.5-inch pipe that's coming in from the well. I've got the water turned back on, and it's all in place. Now, the next big part of this job is to get this floor up, get things leveled, and to get floor covering back down on here that's not all rotten and old and having been wet and all that goes along with that. One step at a time. But today's mission, today's task, completed. Check. This is the state of the kitchen now. Once I have some lunch cooked on the range, it will be removed as well. At that point, it'll be time to pull up the floor that's remaining, get everything cleaned up, get the vapor barrier in, and then lay the new flooring down. That's my goal to get done over the next couple of days, in between other things. And once that's in place, then, you know, we haven't thought that totally through yet. We've talked about a lot of possibilities of what we want to do, and it may take us a while to get the time and the money to put things together like we want to put them together. But that's the project at this point.